when nothing was growing, two old dreamers came dressed in green and gold, with their gloves full of seeds and silence, and their pockets full of stories never told. He wore velvet like moss after morning, she wore ivory like clouds before rain, and they walked with a strange kind of laughter, like the earth could still blossom again. Behind them moved a little greenhouse on thin wooden legs through the dust, with ribbons, mirrors, vines, and windows, and old flower pots full of trust. Beside them stood the cloud deer waiting, with antlers full of blue and white, and the gardeners looked above them at an empty, sleeping sky. They grew the sky, one flower at a time. They planted little clouds where the sun forgot to shine. They grew the sky with their hands and their hearts, and every dream that fell to earth rose back up in parts. They did not dig into the soil, they did not ask the field for more. They opened up their wooden boxes full of seeds from years before. One seed became a tiny cloud, one seed became a bird, one seed opened into sunlight without saying a single word. The cloud deer bowed its gentle head, mist falling from its crown, and flowers climbed the empty air instead of growing down. The village far beyond the field looked up and held its breath, for the sky began to bloom again from what the world had left. They grew the sky, one flower at a time. They planted little clouds where the sun forgot to shine. They grew the sky with their hands and their hearts, and every dream that fell to earth rose back up in parts. Some people plant for harvest, some people plant for bread, but some plant light in lonely places where all hope has fled. Some gardens grow in silence, some gardens grow up high, and some old hands can teach the world to bloom inside the sky. The walking greenhouse opened, its glass doors full of flame. Out came clouds like white carnations, each one whispering a name. She laughed beneath her cloud-made hat, he raised his muddy hand, and the pale field turned to wonder in that quiet, dreamlike land. The deer stepped through the flowers, the mist became a song. The sky grew thick with petals that had waited far too long. And when the evening softened, every heart could understand. The sky was never empty, it was waiting to be planted by hand. They grew the sky, one flower at a time. They planted little clouds where the sun forgot to shine. They grew the sky, and the whole world looked above. For every Maybe you can grow the sky. They planted clouds in the morning in a field with no green left. The wind stood still around them like it watched them hold their breath. He had seeds inside his jacket, she had flowers in her sleeves, and the greenhouse walked behind them on its little wooden knees. They did not speak too loudly, they did not hurry on. They knew the quiet patience of a garden nearly gone. Then she placed a seed in sunlight, he covered it with care, and a little cloud grew softly in the empty air. They planted clouds, white and blue and bright. They planted clouds in the middle of the light. They planted clouds where the dry field used to sigh, and every flower in their hands became a piece of sky. The cloud deer stood beside them with moss upon its chest. Its antlers held small flowers like a secret gentle nest. A paper bird flew upward, a blue petal followed too. A tiny window opened in the sky's forgotten blue. The old woman smiled slowly, the old man tapped his shoe, and the clouds began to gather like they always somehow knew. The field was still the same field, but the air had changed its name, and every little planet cloud was glowing like a flame. They planted clouds, white and blue and bright. They planted clouds in the middle of the light. They planted clouds where the dry field used to sigh, and every flower in their hands became a piece of sky. Clouds can be gardens, flowers can fly, dreams can grow higher than the roof of the sky. Hands can be old, hearts can be new, even a dry field can blossom in blue. By sunset, clouds were blooming like roses overhead. The greenhouse rang with tiny bells, the vines around it spread. Children came from the village, old people came with bread. Everyone looked upward at the garden overhead. The cloud deer shook its antlers, and flowers softly fell. Each one held a little dream the people knew too well, and the gardeners kept planting with laughter in their eyes. For when the earth feels empty, you can always plant the skies. They planted clouds, white and blue and bright. They planted clouds and woke the fading light. They planted clouds and the field no longer cried. For every dream that leaves the ground can still become the sky. Plant a cloud and let it rise. Plant a wish behind your eyes. If the field has gone too dry, plant your flowers in the sky. The walking green greenhouse came at dawn on legs of wood and thread, with glass that held the morning and vines around its head. It creaked across the pale field with mirrors on its side. It carried pots of little flowers that the dry world tried to hide. Inside were broken watering cans, old seeds in paper bags, ribbons tied to window frames, and clouds like folded rags. Behind its glass a garden slept in blue and golden light, waiting for the gardeners to open up the sky. The walking greenhouse, step by step and slow, carried all the flowers that had nowhere else to grow. The walking greenhouse through the pale field came, with windows full of heaven and soil full of flame. The old man opened one glass door, the old woman touched the vine. A little bell rang softly like a memory of springtime. The greenhouse bent its wooden knees as if it wanted to pray. Then all its flower pots began to turn toward the day. A cloud rolled from the rooftop, a flower followed through. A piece of sky fell open in a brighter shade of blue. The cloud deer watched in silence, its eyes were kind and deep, and all the seeds inside the glass awakened from their sleep. The walking greenhouse, step by step and slow, carried all the flowers that had nowhere else to grow. The walking greenhouse through the pale field came, with the windows full of heaven and soil full of flame. Some homes are made of stone, some homes are made of glass, some carry dreams on wooden legs across a tired path. Some gardens cannot stay, some gardens have to roam, until they find the empty sky and make it feel like home. The greenhouse climbed a little hill, the ribbons blew behind. Its tiny mirrors caught the sun and scattered it through time. From every pane a flower rose, from every roof a cloud. The sky began to bloom so bright, the village cried out loud. The old gardeners walked beside it, their faces lined with grace. They had carried one small garden to a larger, higher place. And when the stars appeared that night, the greenhouse softly shone. No garden is ever lost when someone brings it home. The walking greenhouse, step by step and slow, carried all the flowers that had nowhere else to grow. The walking greenhouse past the field and high, opened up its little doors and planted half the sky. If your garden cannot stay, if your flowers drift away, follow glass and vines that roam. The sky may be your garden home. The cloud deer stood in silence where the field had lost its green, with flowers in its antlers and mist around its knees. Its body smelled of moss and rain. Its eyes were calm and old. Its breath was soft as morning fog. Its heart was made of gold. No one knew who made it. No one knew from where, but it walked beside the gardeners like an answer to a prayer. When the old man touched its shoulder, when the woman bowed her head, the cloud deer opened up the sky with every step it led. Cloud deer, gentle cloud deer, carry flowers through the blue. Cloud deer, silent wonder, we have waited here for you. Cloud deer, lift your antlers, let the pale field rise. Every branch upon your head can bloom into the skies. A little bird of paper rested on its horn. A white flower opened like a tiny silver dawn. The deer stepped through the sunlight. The field began to breathe. Old seeds beneath the dry grass started dreaming underneath. The greenhouse walked behind it with bells inside the glass. The gardeners followed slowly, smiling as they passed. And where its hooves touched nothing, flowers filled the air. A garden grew above the world because the deer was there. Cloud deer, gentle cloud deer, carry flowers through the blue. Cloud deer, silent wonder, we have waited here for you. Cloud deer, lift your antlers, let the pale field rise. Every branch upon your head can bloom into the skies. Some creatures come from forests, some creatures come from rain. Some are born from lonely wishes, trying to bloom again. Do not ask the cloud deer to explain its quiet way. It comes when fields are tired and the sky has turned away. By evening, all its antlers were full of blue and white. Tiny clouds were growing there, like lanterns made of light. The old woman placed a flower on its gentle velvet face. The old man laughed through silver dust in that impossible place. The villagers came closer, their lanterns shining low, and every heart remembered something it used to know. The cloud deer bowed once softly, then faded into mist, but left a sky of flowers where the empty field was kissed. Cloud deer, gentle cloud deer, carry flowers through the blue. Cloud deer, silent wonder, we have waited here for you. Cloud deer, lift your antlers, let the whole world see. Even empty skies can bloom when wonder wanders free. If the field has lost its song, if the waiting feels too long, look where mist begins to rise. The cloud deer may open the skies. Flowers above the earth, petals in the air. A village wash the empty sky, become a garden there. No roots beneath the stones, no soil beneath the blue. Just two old hands still believing what forgotten seeds can do. He wore green like quiet forests, she wore white like morning rain. They had lost 1,000 gardens, but they planted once again. And above the pale dry field, where the lonely clouds had gone, flowers opened in the sunlight like a soft returning song. Flowers above the earth, growing in the sky, tell the tired little world that dreams still know how to fly. Flowers above the earth, soft and strange and bright, bloom where hearts have given up, and bring them back to life. The greenhouse walked behind them, the cloud deer raised its crown. Little blue seeds lifted instead of falling down. One became a cloud rose, one became a star, one became a golden flower shining very far. Children pointed from the village, old women crossed the lane, old men took off their glasses just to see it all again. The sky was not a ceiling, the sky was not too high. It was only waiting patiently for someone brave to try. Flowers above the earth, growing in the sky, tell the tired little world that dreams still know how to fly. Flowers above the earth, soft and strange and bright, bloom where hearts have given up, and bring them back to life. When the ground is dry, when the roots are gone, when the field forgets the shape of dawn, lift the seed, raise your eyes. Some flowers were meant for the skies, By night the flowers shimmered, blue and gold and white. The village square was glowing with reflected garden light. The old man held a shovel, the old woman held a thread. They stitched the clouds together where the evening softly spread. The cloud deer walked in circles, the greenhouse rang its bell. Every petal in the heavens had a different tale to tell. And all the people understood as flowers filled the air. The earth may lose its gardens, but hope can grow anywhere. Flowers above the earth, growing in the sky, tell the tired little world that dreams still know how to fly. Flowers above the earth, blooming wide and true. If you cannot find the garden, let the garden come to you. Flowers high and flowers bright, open in the fading light. When the ground has lost its worth, grow your flowers above the earth. They carried seeds of blue in pockets made of thread, little folded pieces of a sky they thought was dead. They carried seeds of white and seeds of golden rain. They carried seeds from gardens that would never bloom again. The field was wide and silent, the hills were far and pale. The world had turned its face away from every fragile tale. But the gardeners kept walking, slow and proud and kind, with clouds inside their baskets and flowers in their minds. Seeds of blue, seeds of light, open in the sky tonight. Seeds of blue, soft and high, teach the empty world to fly. The old man dug no furrow, the old woman touched the air. They planted where the wind was thin and left their wishes there. A tiny cloud unfolded, a flower opened wide. The greenhouse shook with laughter and the cloud deer stood beside. A ribbon rose above them, a paper bird flew through. The field began to sparkle with impossible blue. And every seed they lifted was no heavier than a tear. Yet when it touched the sunlight, a little heaven appeared. Seeds of blue, seeds of light, sky tonight. Seeds of blue, soft and high, teach the empty world to fly. Keep one seed for sorrow, keep one seed for grace. Keep one seed for every dream that could not find its place. Plant one in the silence, plant one in the rain. Plant one where the heart broke once and wants to bloom again. The villagers came running when the sky began to grow. They saw blue flowers blooming where no earthly roots could go. Rosa brought a watering can, Antonio brought a chair, Mateo brought warm bread for the people gathered there. Nina held a little seed, so small it almost shone. She placed it in the empty air and watched it grow alone. By morning, every rooftop had a sky flower overhead, and every heart remembered what the gardeners had said. Seeds of blue, seeds of light, open in the sky tonight. Seeds of blue, soft and high. Even after everything, the dreams can touch the sky. When your hands have nothing new, hold one little seed of blue. Raise it where the clouds pass by. Let it blossom in the sky. When the sky began to bloom, nobody spoke at first. The field was still beneath them, like it feared the dream would burst. A flower opened in the blue, then another near the sun. A tiny cloud grew petals, and the miracle had begun. The old man held his hat down, the old woman closed her eyes. The cloud deer lifted both its antlers like a bridge into the skies. The greenhouse stood behind them with its glass doors open wide, and all the lonely colors started floating from inside. When the sky began to bloom, the village looked above. Every cloud became a flower, every flower carried love. When the sky began to bloom, the empty field was healed, and every dream they thought was gone returned above the field. There were roses made of sunlight, there were lilies made of rain. There were small blue morning flowers that remembered every name. There were clouds shaped like gardens, there were birds made out of leaves. There were lanterns in the daylight, there were wishes in the breeze. Children laughed beneath them, grandmothers whispered prayers. Old men pointed upward from their wooden village chairs. The gardeners kept planting, not for fame and not for gold, but because the sky was lonely and the earth was feeling old. When the sky began to bloom, the village looked above. Every cloud became a flower, every flower carried love. When the sky began to bloom, the empty field was healed, and every dream they thought was gone returned above the field. Do not say it is too late, do not say say the ground is gone. Some gardens wait for older hands to bring the colors on. Do not say the sky is empty. Do not say the light is through. A single seed of kindness can make the heavens new. At sunset all the sky flowers turned silver, pink and gold. The walking greenhouse shimmered like a story being told. The cloud deer stepped through mist, then vanished soft and slow. But flowers stayed above the field, still learning how to glow. The old man took her hand, the old woman smiled wide. They danced beneath the blooming sky with the greenhouse at their side. And when the stars appeared at last, the village finally knew the sky can bloom above us when old dreams are planted true. When the sky began to bloom, the village looked above. Every cloud became a flower, every flower carried love. When the sky began to bloom, no heart remained the same, for even empty heavens can remember how they came. When the world feels pale and dry, when your dreams have lost the sky, plant one hope and give it room. Watch the sky begin to bloom. In a pale field where nothing was growing, two old dreamers came dressed in green and gold, with their gloves full of seeds and silence, and their pockets full of stories never told. He wore velvet like moss after morning. She wore ivory like clouds before rain. And they walked with a strange kind of laughter, like the earth could still blossom again. Behind them moved a little greenhouse on thin wooden legs through the dust, with ribbons, mirrors, vines and windows, and old flower pots full of trust. Beside them stood the cloud deer waiting, with antlers full of blue and white. And the gardeners looked above them at an empty, sleeping sky. They grew the sky, one flower at a time. They planted little clouds where the sun forgot to shine. They grew the sky with their hands and their hearts, and every dream that fell to earth rose back up in parts. They did not dig into the soil, they did not ask the field for more. They opened up their wooden boxes full of seeds from years before. One seed became a tiny cloud, one seed became a bird, one seed opened into sunlight without saying a single word. The cloud deer bowed its gentle head, mist falling from its crown, and flowers climbed the empty air instead of growing down. The village far beyond the field looked up and held its breath, for the sky began to bloom again from what the world had left. They grew the sky, one flower at a time. They planted little clouds where the sun forgot to shine. that fell to earth rose back up in parts. Some people plant for harvest, some people plant for bread, but some plant light in lonely places where all hope has fled. Some gardens grow in silence, some gardens grow up high, and some old hands can teach the world to bloom inside the sky. The walking greenhouse opened, its glass doors full of flame. Out came clouds like white carnations, each one whispering a name. She laughed beneath a cloud-made hat. He raised his muddy hand, and the pale field turned to wonder in that quiet, dreamlike land. The deer stepped through the flowers, the mist became a song. The sky grew thick with petals that had waited far too long. And when the evening softened, every heart could understand. The sky was never empty, it was waiting to be planted by hand. They grew the sky, one flower at a time. They planted little clouds where the sun forgot to shine. They grew the sky, and the whole world looked above, for every empty heaven can still be filled with love. When the field is dry and wide, when your dreams have nowhere to hide, lift your hands and wonder why. Maybe you can grow the sky. They planted clouds in the morning, in a field with no green left. The wind stood still around them like it watched them hold their breath. He had seeds inside his jacket, she had flowers in her sleeves, and the greenhouse walked behind them on its little wooden knees. They did not speak too loudly, they did not hurry on. They knew the quiet patience of her garden nearly gone. Then she placed a seed in sunlight, he covered it with care, and a little cloud grew softly in the empty air. They planted clouds, white and blue and bright. They planted clouds in the middle of the light. They planted clouds where the dry field used to sigh, and every flower in their hands became a piece of sky. The cloud deer stood beside them, with moss upon its chest. Its antlers held small flowers like a secret gentle nest. A paper bird flew upward, a blue petal followed too. A tiny window opened in the sky's forgotten blue. The old woman smiled slowly, the old man tapped his shoe, and the clouds began to gather like they always somehow knew. The field was still the same field, but the air had changed its name, and every little planet cloud was glowing like a flame. They planted clouds, white and blue and bright. They planted clouds in the middle of the light. They planted clouds where the dry field used to sigh, and every flower in their hands became a piece of sky. Clouds can be gardens, flowers can fly, dreams can grow higher than the roof of the sky. Hands can be old, hearts can be new, field can blossom in blue. By sunset, clouds were blooming like roses overhead. The greenhouse rang with tiny bells, the vines around it spread. Children came from the village, old people came with bread. Everyone looked upward at the garden overhead. The cloud deer shook its antlers, and flowers softly fell. Each one held a little dream the people knew too well. And the gardeners kept planting with laughter in their eyes. For when the earth feels empty, you can always plant the skies. They planted clouds, white and blue and bright. They planted clouds and woke the fading lights. They planted clouds and the field no longer cried. For every dream that leaves the ground can still become the sky. Plant a cloud and let it rise. Plant a wish behind your eyes. If the field has gone too dry, plant your flowers in the sky. The walking greenhouse came at dawn, on legs of wood and thread, with glass that held the morning and vines around its head. It creaked across the pale field with mirrors on its side. It carried pots of little flowers that the dry world tried to hide. Inside were broken watering cans, old seeds in paper bags, ribbons tied to window frames, and clouds like folded rags. Behind its glass a garden slept in blue and golden light, waiting for the gardeners to open up the sky. The walking greenhouse, step by step and slow, carried all the flowers that had nowhere else to grow. The walking greenhouse through the pale field came, with windows full of heaven and soil full of flame. The old man opened one glass door, the old woman touched the vine. A little bell rang softly like a memory of springtime. The greenhouse bent its wooden knees as if it wanted to pray. Then all its flower pots began to turn toward the day. A cloud rolled from the rooftop, a flower followed through. A piece of sky fell open in a brighter shade of blue. The cloud deer watched in silence, its eyes were kind and deep, and all the seeds inside the glass awakened from their sleep. The walking greenhouse, step by step and slow, carried all the flowers that had nowhere else to grow. The walking greenhouse through the pale field came, with windows full of heaven and soil full of flame. Some homes are made of stone, some homes are made of glass, some carry dreams on wooden legs across a tired path. Some gardens cannot stay, some gardens have to roam until they find the empty sky and make it feel like The greenhouse climbed a little hill, the ribbons blew behind. Its tiny mirrors caught the sun and scattered it through time. From every pane a flower rose, from every roof a cloud. The sky began to bloom so bright, the village cried out aloud. The old gardeners walked beside it, their faces lined with grace. They had carried one small garden to a larger, higher place. And when the stars appeared that night, the greenhouse softly shone. No garden is ever lost when someone brings it home. The walking greenhouse, step by step and slow, carried all the flowers that had nowhere else to grow. The walking greenhouse passed the field and high, opened up its little doors and planted half the sky. If your garden cannot stay, if your flowers drift away, follow glass and vines that roam. The sky may be your garden home. The cloud deer stood in silence where the field had lost its green, with flowers in its antlers and mist around its knees. Its body smelled of moss and rain, its eyes were calm and old. Its breath was soft as morning fog, its heart was made of gold. No one knew who made it, no one knew from where, but it walked beside the gardeners like an answer to a prayer. When the old man touched its shoulder, when the woman bowed her head, the cloud deer opened up the sky with every step it led. Cloud deer, gentle cloud deer, carry flowers through the blue. Cloud deer, silent wonder, we have waited here for you. Cloud deer, lift your antlers, let the pale field rise. Every branch upon your head can bloom into the skies. A little bird of paper rested on its horn. A white flower opened like a tiny silver dawn. The deer stepped through the sunlight, the field began to breathe. Old seeds beneath the dry grass started dreaming underneath. The greenhouse walked behind it, with bells inside the glass. The gardeners followed slowly, smiling as they passed. And where its hooves touched nothing, flowers filled the air. A garden grew above the world because the deer was there. Cloud deer, gentle cloud deer, carry flowers through the blue. Cloud deer, silent wonder, we have waited here for you. Cloud deer, lift your antlers, let the pale field rise. Every branch upon your head can bloom into the skies. Some creatures come from forests, some creatures come from rain. Some are born from lonely wishes, trying to bloom again. Do not ask the cloud deer to explain its quiet way. It comes when fields are tired and the sky has turned away. By evening all its antlers were full of blue and white. tiny clouds were growing there like lanterns made of light. The old woman placed a flower on its gentle velvet face. The old man laughed through silver dust in that impossible place. The villagers came closer, their lanterns shining low, and every heart remembered something it used to know. The cloud deer bowed once softly, then faded into mist, but left a sky of flowers where the empty field was kissed. Cloud deer, gentle cloud deer, carry flowers through the blue. Cloud deer, silent wonder, we have waited here for you. Cloud deer, lift your antlers, let the whole world see. Even empty skies can bloom when wonder wanders free. If the field has lost its song, if the waiting feels too long, look where mist begins to rise. The cloud deer may open the skies. Flowers above the earth, petals in the air. A village watched the empty sky become a garden there. No roots beneath the stones, no soil beneath the blue, just two old hands still believing what forgotten seeds can do. He wore green like quiet forests, she wore white like morning rain. They had lost 1,000 gardens, but they planted once again. And above the pale dry field, where the lonely clouds had gone, flowers opened in the sunlight like a soft returning song. Flowers above the earth, growing in the sky, tell the tired little world that dreams still know how to fly. Flowers above the earth, soft and strange and bright, bloom where hearts have given up and bring them back to light. The greenhouse walked behind them, the cloud deer raised its crown. Little blue seeds lifted instead of falling down. One became a cloud rose, one became a star, one became a golden flower, shining very far. Children pointed from the village, old women crossed the lane, old men took off their glasses just to see it all again. The sky was not a ceiling, the sky was not too high, it was only waiting patiently for someone brave to try. Flowers above the earth, growing in the sky, tell the tired little world that dreams still know how to fly. Flowers above the earth, soft and strange and bright, bloom where hearts have given up and bring them back to light. When the ground is dry, when the roots are gone, when the field forgets the shape of dawn, lift the seed, raise your eyes. Some flowers were meant for the skies. By night the flowers shimmered, blue and gold and white, village square was glowing with reflected garden light. The old man held a shovel, the old woman held a thread. They stitched the clouds together where the evening softly spread. The cloud deer walked in circles, the greenhouse rang its bell. Every petal in the heavens had a different tale to tell. And all the people understood as flowers filled the air. The earth may lose its gardens, but hope can grow anywhere. Flowers above the earth, growing in the sky, tell the tired little world that dreams still know how to fly. Flowers above the earth, blooming wide and true. If you cannot find the garden, let the garden come to you. Flowers high and flowers bright, open in the fading light. When the ground has lost its worth, grow your flowers above the earth. They carried seeds of blue in pockets made of thread, little folded pieces of a sky they thought was dead. They carried seeds of white and seeds of golden rain. They carried seeds from gardens that would never bloom again. The field was wide and silent, the hills were far and pale. The world had turned its face away from every fragile tale. But the gardeners kept walking, slow and proud and kind, with clouds inside their baskets and flowers in their mind. Seeds of blue, seeds of light, open in the sky tonight. Seeds of blue, soft and high, teach the empty world to fly. The old man dug no furrow, the old woman touched the air. They planted where the wind was thin and left their wishes there. A tiny cloud unfolded, a flower opened wide. The greenhouse shook with laughter, and the cloud deer stood beside. A ribbon rose above them, a paper bird flew through. The field began to sparkle with impossible blue, and every seed they lifted was no heavier than a tear. Yet when it touched the sunlight, a little heaven appeared. Seeds of blue, seeds of light, open in the sky tonight. Seeds of blue, soft and high, teach the empty world to fly. Keep one seed for sorrow, keep one seed for grace, keep one seed for every dream that could not find its place. Plant one in the silence, plant one in the rain, plant one where the heart broke once and wants to bloom again. The villagers came running when the sky began to grow. They saw blue flowers blooming where no earthly roots could go. Rosa brought a watering can, Antonio brought a chair, Mateo brought warm bread for the people gathered there. Nina held a little seed, so small it almost shone. She placed it in the empty air and watched it grow alone. By morning every rooftop had a sky flower overhead, and every heart remembered what the gardeners had said. Seeds of blue, seeds of light, open in the sky tonight. Seeds of blue, soft and high. Even after everything, the dreams can touch the sky. When your hands have nothing new, hold one little seed of blue. Raise it where the clouds pass by. Let it blossom in the sky. When the sky began to bloom, nobody spoke at first. The field was still beneath them, like it feared the dream would burst. A flower opened in the blue, then another near the sun. A tiny cloud grew petals, and the miracle had begun. The old man held his hat down, the old woman closed her eyes. The cloud deer lifted both its antlers like a bridge into the skies. The greenhouse stood behind them with its glass doors opened wide, and all the lonely colors started floating from inside. When the sky began to blue, above, every cloud became a flower. Every flower carried love. When the sky began to bloom, the empty field was healed, and every dream they thought was gone returned above the field. There were roses made of sunlight, there were lilies made of rain. There were small blue morning flowers that remembered every name. There were clouds shaped like gardens, there were birds made out of leaves. There were lanterns in the daylight, there were wishes in the breeze. Children laughed beneath them, grandmothers whispered prayers. Old men pointed upward from their wooden village chairs. The gardeners kept planting, not for fame and not for gold, but because the sky was lonely and the earth was feeling old. When the sky began to bloom, the village looked above. Turned above the field. Do not say it is too late. Do not say the ground is gone. Some gardens wait for older hands. can make the heavens new. At sunset, all the sky flowers turn silver, pink, and gold. The walking greenhouse shimmered like a story being told. The cloud deer stepped through mist, then vanished soft and slow. But flowers stayed above the field, still learning how to glow. The old man took her hand, the old woman smiled wide. They danced beneath the blooming sky, with the greenhouse at their side. And when the stars appeared at last, the village finally knew the sky can bloom above us when old dreams are planted true.
When the sky began to bloom,
The village looked above.
every cloud became a flower.
Every flower carried love.
When the sky began to bloom,
No hearts remained the same, for even empty heavens can remember how they came.
when the world feels pale and dry, when your dreams have lost the sky,
Plant one hope and give it room. Watch the sky begin to bloom.